Okay. I think we're in better shape now. All right. Someone say something in the. Here we go. Okay, I see the message now. Meow meow and Sherry. All right, beautiful, beautiful. I'm gonna pop out the chat. Yes, that works. Nice. And I'm going to share this chat. Hold on here, guys. This is gonna be one second here, and we are officially gaming. Here we go. All right, now you can kind of see it. Hello, hello. How's it going? I am going to put this back here. There we go. Okay. We're gaming. We are ready to rumble. Let's play some Tetris. How are you guys doing? Any updates? Gaming time, you know it. It's a little Friday night gaming. I like only 3 games. I like Tetris, I like chess, and I like GeoGuessr. Those games, all you need really. You don't need that much more. How was the Joker movie? Lumina, nice to see you. GeoGuessr is poggers. Yeah, you know it. GeoGuessr is it's good good use of time. It's weird. Whenever I play GeoGuessr, I don't feel like I'm wasting time. Like I feel like I'm learning more about the world. I'm learning more about like what makes a place a place. It's probably useful whenever you get kidnapped. You can use that knowledge to figure your way out by orienting yourself. It was okay, not bad, but not great. Yeah, there's a bunch of movies that are just like, I find there's just a bunch of movies that aren't like bad but aren't great. But the movies that are like, the 5 out of 10 movies, those movies are actually just the worst movies. Because I like a movie that's either really bad or really good. You know what I mean? Hello, Triangle Reality. How's it going? Wait, lol. I remember this exact game in an older video of yours. Yeah. No, I've been playing this game for years now. It's weird. Like I feel like I just started playing Tetris, and I've just been playing. I've actually, I think I look back, and it's been literally like 4 years now since I've been actually just like actually playing it. And it's something I play. It's a game I play whenever I watch YouTube video because I can't watch YouTube video anymore. I have to like I have to be stimulated at the same time. So I play Tetris in the background. Unless like I really want to pay attention to the video, then I do. But like there's whenever I'm watching a video, like it feels like, I don't know, like maybe 60% of my brain, 70% of my brain is like occupied watching it. But then I need like I feel like I need to do something with my hands or something else. And it's like way more. It's like way more helpful to do that. To like be playing Tetris while watching a video. While talking, I feel like I'm definitely like lagging a bit because I'm trying to put the pieces in the right orders. But when you're watching a video, like you're not fully engaged anyways. Like, you're not like fully completely immersed in the video. I mean, at least I'm not. So it's helpful to have some kind of distraction to keep you at bay. Uh, what's going on here? Okay, so Lumina said, Chat Greg said it would be cool if someone made timestamps for the Destiny stream, so I used the powers of autism and no life to make the most cursed timestamp list possibly ever. You gotta send me that later. I still haven't watched the Greg Destiny live stream. I know there's like the Anything Else podcast where it's like a 3 hour conversation that they had, and I know that there's also a Bridges podcast that Greg was on, but I didn't haven't watched. I've watched clips that were on YouTube, but I haven't watched the full one. And the Anything Else podcast is available on Spotify. It's a 3 hour thing, but I just haven't. I don't want to like listen to it. I'd rather just watch something. So I might listen to it at some point, but I mean, really, I don't know. What's an example of a movie that's so bad it's good? Troll 2. Troll 2 is a classic. I used to watch the movie all the time as a kid. It was so good. There's a scene of so Troll 2 was basically like this movie that I think it was filmed in America, but they had like a very limited budget or something, and then they got a bunch of like foreigners basically who didn't really know how to speak English properly. Oh wait, maybe I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that was Troll 2. Yeah, so they got a bunch of inexperienced actors basically, and what ended up happening was like it was just like a complete mess. The budget was like low. It's one of those, and like also at the time it was like the 80s or 90s, so it was just not not great. If you don't have a good budget, and the idea was also very cheesy. There's one scene where there's a guy who's just saying "Oh my God," and then there's like a fly that lands on his forehead that was unintentional, just happened, and then decided to keep that in the final reel, which I don't know why, but Chloe, you're literally Russian. How could you be this bad at the game of our people? I don't know. I don't think I'm that bad. maybe I'm bad. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just like placing the blocks in random orders. I'm not like trying to optimize. But I also like to play it really fast. So maybe if there was like a slower speed setting, then I could. Okay, that was an F. But if there was a slower speed setting, maybe that could be better. That was also not great. I am not Russian, contrary to popular belief. Greg somehow got cross-posting previews in the I'm trying to play Tetris and read the stream at the same time. It's a disaster. I'm just gonna lose. Greg somehow got cross-posting privs in the videos on his Patreon right now. My time set list so far is bangers such as Destiny starts winding, Hassan gets too many Bezos books. Yeah, here I don't know anything about Hassan. I have no idea about anything about Hassan. People talk about it all the time, and he's very popular. But to be honest, I'm not really like in a loop for a lot of these like popular YouTuber people. Like I have no idea what the deal is, what the drama is. I've always been bad at like tuning in to like dramas. Like like Gokunar is really good at like analyzing critically like the relationship like a certain YouTuber has with his audience, like Sneeko, for example. He's really good at like doing all that, and that's just a different kind of specialty. I'm not very good at not really good at like understanding the drama behind certain YouTubers. So Destiny starts wanting Hassan gets too many Bezos books. Does that mean Hassan got Was he sponsored by Amazon or something? And Destiny wanted to get sponsored by Amazon or something? What do you guys want to do in this stream? Because right now I'm just playing Tetris, but I mean, I have an entire screen that we can look things up on, and I have system audio as well that's plugged in that I can like stream. So I got that set up, so we can do something on the screen. It doesn't have to be just me playing Tetris. I'm gonna clear my favorites. I don't know what my favorites are. This chat. I never use the favorites tab. I just automatically add stuff by accident. Triangle Reality. Have you been making tunes? Any new EPs in the radar? Play cool math games. Oh, that's a throwback. Oh my god, it's a throwback. Oh, you know what is a huge throwback? Math Circus. Oh my god. Oh my. I don't know if this is just a Canadian thing. I don't know, like, if America had this too. Oh my god. If this actually works. Oh, no way. Have you guys ever played Math Circus? Wait, this might be too much for you guys. Oh my god, I don't know how to escape. Oh my. That was a mistake. So my keyboard doesn't work anymore. Oh, here we go. Great. All right, guys. So I can't exit out. Escape doesn't work. There's no escape. There's just the rest of the stream. I really don't want to end the stream again. It's really annoying. I really don't want to be doing that all the time. Just gonna press a bunch of buttons. Oh, here we go. I just pressed a bunch of buttons and it worked. Cool. When in doubt, just mash the buttons. Alright. I'm gonna do a couple of things here. Take this pop-up box. Bam. A little thinner. And we are going to go back. Okay, this is a mistake. Okay, I'm just gonna close this whole. I don't think I can. Actually, I don't think I can. You know what? I'm going to just fucking do desktop. Open a new thing of Chrome and drag it in. So that's left, right, go. That's left, right, okay. Go. That's left, right, go. That's left, right, go. There we go. There we go. All right, we're playing cool math games.
My life is bad. I am angry.
Okay.
My name is Antonio.
All right. What do we have here?
And I intend to end it all.
Yellow lines. Oh, I like this one. I like the really simple games. High concept, but simple.
Jesus fucking Christ!
Another beautiful day at work.
Is your background noise? Let me just turn this off.
Tarnation.
Okay, so what do we do here? Hit the yellow line and win. Go back and release. We won! Hit all yellow lines with one throw. Alright. Sounds simple enough. Oh, God. Sounds so easy. Gray walls will never disappear. Okay, let's do this. Oh, guys. Remember when I told you only like 3 games, GeoGuessr, Chess, and Tetris? I lied. This is my 4th. Oh, this is where it actually gets interesting. Oh, no. Ah, easy. Something playing in the background. Music. Oh, this is a disaster. Where is music?
Buzz, are you alright? Are you alright?
I'm just gonna
I guess.
turn off system audio for the time being. Until we need it. Okay. Oh, easy. Oh, that was close. Yeah, let's go. You know what could be cool? You know what I wanted to do last year? Never ended up doing? I feel like this would be cool to react to and like actually do a little bit of a commentary on. I was literally meaning to do this last year, but then like I tried to do a stream and it failed. But one sec. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Do I have Spotify on or something? I don't have Spotify. Oh, is it GeoGuessr maybe? Oh. Wait, was that it? Oh yeah, okay. Okay, I fixed it. All right, we're good. Okay. Let's talk about Ironic Grave. I think that'd be fun. So last year, it's actually crazy to even talk about this. I mean, like it's been a year now, almost. It's like time's flying. I remember doing this with the boys like a year ago now. I mean, it felt like maybe like a few like maybe a month or 2 ago, but it's been almost a year. It's been since November. We did this thing where we did like an ironic rave in Toronto. It was crazy. Here's let's play the video.
In August, we put on the very first Ironic Rave. We did it on a Thursday night in Ottawa, which is a city not exactly known for its vibrant nightlife. And it featured predominantly, I guess you could say, untraditional act. And
That was
despite
the
all
first
that,
Ironic
people
Rave.
seem to have really liked it, and the event was overall a huge success. If you wanted to see more about the first Ironic Rave, check out the recap in the description. So after the first Ironic Rave was all said and done, we thought, why don't we do that again? But this time, make it even better. And we also do it in a bigger city like Toronto. And that's exactly what we did. How do you guys feel about the Ironic Rave happening tonight?
Very ironic, very excited.
This is their venue, boys. Very excited for tonight. It's gonna be packed. We sold out. It's gonna be really fun.
I can't hear by the, I can't hear any audio by the way.
5 minutes.
It's either me or you guys.
I'm getting strong, like I'm not ready vibes from these guys.
I'm ready. Wait, hold up. Are you guys not ready?
So DJ build up. Let me think. Let me remember this. So this is DJ build up, and the whole premise of this one, I guess we can just watch.
Let's just stop the music then. You guys aren't ready? Are you guys ready?
And no, not yet. No, I mean I haven't really been doing
Guys,
skits
guys,
lately. I've been
have a
thinking about
confession
getting
to make.
back into skits.
I don't think I'm ready.
Now that I'm done all the operated stuff, but yeah, we'll see.
Warning. Please wait.
We are synchronizing this location with NASA.
Okay, so DJ build up. Let's do a pause there. Let's talk about that. Hello, Smonchu, how's it going? The Nightmare wished they could light up Ottawa's nightlife as well as y'all did with the Ironic Rave. Meow Meow, are you from Ottawa? You know about the Nightmare in Ottawa? We got a new light. We got a new Nightmare recently. So it's like some municipal kind of going ons. But yeah, so DJ build up was really fun. DJ build up, like we had this idea for the first Ironic Rave to do a really long build up, but I think that was one of those ideas that we cut out intentionally because we didn't have like we had other ideas and we had kind of a limited amount of time because the first Ironic Rave we had in Ottawa actually, but we had like a lot of ideas. Each bit was like 15 to 30 minutes long, but here we had like a bit more time. And we had like a proper venue for like more kind of like bigger and better ideas. You're not from Ottawa and you lurk in the r/Ottawa subreddit. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. I lurk there too. I would never. I mean, it's interesting. So yeah, DJ build up was a fun one. It was a fun one. I think it was like 15 to 20 minutes of just building up. Then at the end, we actually finally dropped the music. We actually dropped something, which people really appreciated. But we also thought about just not dropping anything and just like edging people on forever and just ending it like that. But we also thought, people worked for it for 20 minutes. Might as well give them a minute worth of stuff. Vivance for everyone.
And you get Vivance!
All my friends are mentally ill.
Everybody gets Vivance!
Welcome to the real world.
Chess.
Never heard anything like it! Alright,
Yeah, that one's really fun. Let's go. Let's watch this back in half speed. Look at this. So we had so this guy over here, Dante, he appeared in Greg's DMs And he was like, yeah, hey, you know, you guys are doing the ironic rave in Toronto. I live in Toronto. I would love to do a thing, like a bit. And we had no idea who this guy was. He was just like messaging Greg on Instagram, and then we were like, all right, cool. I mean, if you really want to do a bit, you can do a bit. But then we also, in the back of our minds, were kind of worried at the fact that he might not show up. But he did, and he crushed it. He made a killer. He had a killer set. Actually, his set, it was good. So he compiled a set list beforehand, but it was like 2 times shorter than it should have been. So then what ended up happening was he just took his set and he just looped it on the fly, and he made it like 2 ices fast, but he just kept looping it, and that worked. People seem to be too entranced, too distracted by the fact that there's like chess on the DJ controller, and then there's like Subway Surfer in the background and like Tetris going on. The fact that no one noticed the fact that music was like looping. So that was an interesting little bit. Oh yeah, he also has a fidget spinner. That's me in the background. I'm like, what's going on? Yeah, that was Tetris over there. People are playing chess on the ground at the club. All right, let's go back to regular speed.
Never heard anything like it.
DJ Corporate. Oh, this one was so funny. This one was like, this is one of the most anticipated acts personally for me. Like, I really like the idea of just like corporate music playing and like 2 businessmen in like suits just like trying to hype people up about like, you know, synergy and corporate reports and statistics and charts and everything like that. That was a really fun one actually, and that was really fun.
Listen up.
Let's watch this one.
Listen up. This is a great team we got here, no? And you want to hear our sales for last quarter? They're up by 50%.
Never unionize. Always be on the side of capital.
Not happening.
Not enough sales. How's it feel to be employee of the month? Amazing.
We have got some satisfaction
Oh yeah,
survey.
yeah. This one, this chart is so good. We were on the road to Toronto from Ottawa, like 4 of us. So it was me. This is Maz, Hunter, the other guy that was performing with Maz at DJ Corporate, and Alex, who's or Schnurb, who was driving, who's doing like an act later on as well. This one is, yeah. So like I made this on the car ride there, and I'm so glad I did. This like satisfaction survey like just cracked me up. It was so funny. Rate the synergy of the performance. Highly disruptive, moderately innovative, satisfactorily harmonized. Needs more paradigm shifting. Evaluate DJ Corporate's alignment with the event's core competencies. Perfectly aligned, sufficiently compliant, marginally deviant, completely out of sync. No comment. Need to touch base with Linda and circle back. Yeah, just gotta touch base with Linda, guys. And then you got the Likert chart. You got the synergy. You got the wow factor. Wow in quotation marks. Engagement and perceived humor dynamics. Is it funny, guys? What's the perceived humor dynamics of the situation?
Here you go.
DJ YouTube.
Like a good neighbor.
It's just an ad.
Hey, Dave. Wow. Is that
treat?
Skip it, Max, skip it, man. I can't.
Look,
I'm
good
trying really
news.
hard. I can't skip it.
State Farm is there with the sandwich. And the girl from 4E? And can I get a
Drags like Max.
find out what State Farm agents can do for you at Y Agent?
Ah! It was just unintrusive enough that it was fine. All right.
Yeah, that one's really fun. Yeah, DJ YouTube is self-explanatory. It was basically just a bunch of ads. That one was pretty fun. There's some acts that you thought you think would be like kind of lit or kind of funny, but then when it actually plays out, like people react in a different way. DJ YouTube was mostly a success, but also, I think it was the first official kind of flop of the night. It wasn't like it was a lower energy one of the night. It didn't. The energy went down faster than we expected. But it was also just like people listening to a bunch of ads. So like I feel like the human brain, there's something in the human brain that's primal that whenever you hear an ad, you just want to like just close your brain off. So then people were just hearing a bunch of ads. People were like, yeah, I don't like this. Even ironically, people were like, yeah, I don't want to engage with this. Honestly, makes it more funny. So, all right, we got DJJ.
We got a very special celebrity guest today. Please give it up for none other than DJJ. Everybody. Hello, friends. Yes. For those of you who do not know, I make YouTube videos about cultural commentary. I do videos about Canadian affairs, about sort of current affairs, American culture, popular culture, cultural analysis. But I also have a hidden passion, which is the turntables, which is DJing. So tonight, I'm hoping that you.
Can we talk about JJ's fit for a second? That Dragon Ball Z merch, and then that American sweater, all in Canada.
You guys will enjoy a JJ themed set. Without further ado, we are going to get to my first track. Pardon me?
Oh no.
Yeah, that one's good.
Oh no.
Next time.
People were so hyped for JJ to like drop his first set. People were like, "Wow, like this is gonna be exciting." And then we were like, nah, we're gonna pull the rug under you." So that was basically the whole idea. Is just JJ's hyping everybody up because he's like the celebrity, and then everyone's like, "Whoa, he's gonna be doing a set for the first time ever." And then we're just like, "Oh no, never mind, that's not happening." So yeah, that was the whole set. That was the whole point of it.
My name's
Yeah, DJ Reverse. This one actually went off.
DJ Reverse.
This one
Thank
actually
you so
went.
much for
This actually
coming.
was
I
really
hope
good.
you enjoyed my sets. My next show is going to be in Ottawa in a couple weeks. Thank you. Have a great night. My name's DJ Reverse. I have a great set planned for you tonight.
Yeah, this one did go hard.
Get ready. You're about to experience the best set of your life.
Yeah, that one was one of those ones where like we didn't realize it would go as hard as it did, but it actually did. But also helped because Hunter, the guy doing the set, is actually like a really talented DJ. So despite the fact that all the music was in reverse, he was like, all right, cool, that's what I have to work with, and he just like put up some bangers that just work well, even reversed, which is best of both worlds because you're doing this set, it's kind of ridiculous, but you're also making it sound good. It's kind of this weird cognitive dissonance. People liked it though. It was a good time. People really enjoyed it. The venue owners at that point, I think, were like, "What like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? So, but at that point, we were like, we don't really care. DJ Daycare. Oh, this one. Oh, this one's fun. That one was really cool. So we had one of our YouTuber friends pitch this was her idea. Pitch an act where we just like listen to like DJ daycare music, and the idea was that it would like throw people back into that state when they were kids and just having fun. And it actually worked out really well. People were going surprisingly off on it. Like, people were all being ironic, but people liked it. People found it to be a genuinely good time, and that one was surprisingly hard. DJ press play. Oh yeah, this one. This one is so hyped too, because the first time we did this was the opener for the first Ironic Rave. The first time we did this, we just didn't. We were like rushing the first Ironic Rave. We didn't get set up in time. It just didn't work out. Like, he pressed a button and no music like that happened, which was actually probably even funnier. Like, his entire job is to press a button and just chill. And he couldn't even do that. He like messed that up. I mean, it's not his fault. It's our fault. He's not a DJ or anything. That's why we gave him this role. But it was just funny. But this time around, we had an actual club, an actual venue, and we prepared like actual set for him, and we made sure everything was good and set up and perfect, and it worked. So that was fun. Hello, Mini Pastel. How's it going? Let's rewind. Let's look at his face here. This guy's so clocked out. Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, this one was so good. And people also just genuinely liked the music.
You know, why don't we take it back?
I was gonna watch this guy again. This is so good. He's just like on his phone. The funniest part about this is, like, at a rave, you have the audience that's pointing towards a stage, right? People are like looking at the person's performing. And if you just have a guy who just completely checked out, is bored out of his mind, you have a bunch of people, you have like 100 people looking at this guy who's bored out of his mind. And like, that is his performance. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's always such a stressful implication whenever you're performing to like put on your best self, right? To be serious, to like, this is who you are, right? Like, you see a lot of DJs, a lot of musicians really like putting themselves on when they're performing, but just subverting that completely and just doing nothing. Or on the first Ironic Rave, what we did is I'm gonna actually pull this up right now, actually. Ironic Rave drag. This is on his video.
It's gonna be great. Genuinely amazing.
Yeah, so look at this part, was so good. Yeah. So we had this, our last set, or our second last set of the night, we had a pineapple who was just like, that was it. Like, we had a pineapple, put glass on them, and we just had a pre-recorded set, and then that was the whole thing. And it was the most fire set. It was like the best set of the night for sure. I downloaded this this mix from ISO. He's like at this point he's not up and coming. At this point he's like well established, like musician, like makes like hard EDM music from California, and we just like put that on, and people just went off. It was really fire.
Object, which was just a pineapple with sunglasses.
So what we're going with DJ Inanimate Objects is it's a pineapple, and that's funny.
And he had the most fire set and the best stage presence.
Yeah, he's just completely getting into it.
So good. I can't believe a pineapple is the best DJ.
I think my only regret is like...
Yeah, it's so good. But yeah, similar idea with DJ Press Play, just completely checked out, subverting what the performer is meant to be doing. And I think that's a ripe grounds for doing things that are ironic at an ironic rave.
What's up, Miami?
The most base part of that bit is there's a literal DJ Press Play that's like, wait, really? There's like an actual DJ Press Play? No. No way. That's his whole thing? That is genius. Wait, is this actually what he does? No, he looks like he's DJing. Nah, this guy's DJing. This guy's DJing. Damn. That's cool. That's a cool shtick. You're just a play button. Oh, I love this. Look at his face. It's so good. He's like, yeah, this is my life. This is what I'm doing. The funniest part is that he's like an insanely talented pianist. Like, he's so good at music. He's like insanely talented. But he doesn't know how to DJ because he never. It's not in his ballpark, right? It's not what he does. So, is we just set him up in front of like a DJ controller, despite the fact that he's an actual like really talented pianist, and he's like, all right, this is my life. I have 100 people watching me right now, on my phone doing nothing when I have this, when I could be playing piano. Like, I don't know. I'd like to think that was part of what was going through his mind.
Why don't we take it back?
DJ old school.
A little bit to the music that we all know.
This one's pretty self-explanatory.
It's gonna take you back, guys.
Anyone remember this? No?
It's Ooga Booga mode. Yeah, that part was really that was a really fun one. That one was just like a genuine. That DJ Old School was meant to be. Yeah, the pitch for DJ Old School. What I had in mind was basically just like, you know how like there's like DJs who are like, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to the good old days. But then you just play some like super old, like 1910s, kind of like terrible quality like vinyl stuff. I don't even know, like some jazz stuff, right? Just the whole idea is to make it like old school, but more old school than old school. But then we went so far back, we went to like prehistoric times. And then that is like a vibe in itself that we don't really consider old school, but we just consider like historic. And people were just vibing to it. People were just like, yeah, this is like some cool historic, like, ancient vibes. So people really liked it. and the bit didn't quite work. The bit didn't quite turn into what we thought it was going to turn into, but it was still really good. DJ Mute. Oh, this is one of my personal favorites.
Are you ready? Yeah! 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, let's go! Let's do this. Let's get it. Let's rage! One more song. One more song. One more song. One more. All right, one more song it is. All right, baby, here it is.
Oh man. You can hear his chain.
So,
That one was like, I think the one that like broke the venue owners. Like the venue owners were so pissed. Like before that even, but like this one like broke them. This one was like, because at least before we had music going on, it's kind of weird music, but like they're like okay, like, because they were bringing the locals. The locals are coming to the bar, and they were serving the locals, and it was like okay, like the music was weird, but like, you know, at least it had the music going on. But DJ Mute was just him screaming, and there was like no music. Like it was just like the vibes were like there's no music. So then like the locals were all leaving out of the bar, and they were getting like angry. But the thing is like, yeah, we told them the whole thing was like going to be an ironic rave. I like warned them. I was like, okay, this is what you're getting into. Just FYI, we're gonna pack the venue, but this is what you're gonna get into. Just an FYI. And they're like, yeah, packing the venue, that's great. Yeah, we're gonna take a packed venue. But then you get DJ Mute, and they're like, nah, we're good. We don't want DJ Mute. We want music. We want like we want you to play Kesha or some shit. Like, yeah, great. Like, that's not gonna happen. We're gonna do our own thing. So, yeah, that that one really broke them. DJ Mute really broke them. They were coming up to us, and they were like, guys, you have to have music going on. Like, if you don't have music going on, this is like we're gonna have to do something, basically. But yeah, anyways, yeah, Maz, this guy is one of the most energetic guys I know, like naturally, and like this was partially, like we picked him partially just for this set, because he's just so good, just being so energetic. Like he's just like he kept a crowd going for half an hour with no music. Like no music, half an hour. And that's a crazy, like that is like my worst fear. Can you imagine you are in front of a crowd and you have to hype them up for half an hour using nothing but like your voice and pretending like you're DJing? Like, yeah. This guy is an absolute trooper. This guy really put his all into it.
So,
you got DJ Introspect. This one was fun. This one we had shots for this, but then like the footage was like lost or something. So I just had the camera of like the general booth, the DJ booth, when we all left it and we were all like on the actual dance floor talking to people. We didn't actually capture the footage, but this is basically just like us talking and introspecting about the whole ironic rave and trying to get into this meta irony.
Not on the surface level what it is, but exactly. Yeah, let's define it exactly. Let's kill any possible passion we might have for it by articulating every possible word and making it a process and automating it. So this part of the rave,
DJ Reviewer. This one's good. And that's Duncan Clark, of the Duncan Clark fame, of his YouTube channel. And that's JJ.
Your songs that you guys would like everyone else to listen to. Do you guys have a suggestion for any songs that you think?
So this one was just like a fun little break. This one.
And then we will review it and give it a rating out of 10.
I gotta feel it.
I gotta feel it. Granular 1 to 5 star rating here.
5 stars.
3, 2, 1. By the way, everyone, I'm calculating the numbers, so just keep, put them in the air.
All right, let's go.
Oh, actually, some, you know what's cool? This guy over here is the mastermind behind this song, Mine Diamonds. If you know this song, we didn't even realize, but this is the guy that was behind this whole genius song. This guy over here. Yeah, this is just normal music. But we just reviewed it. It actually was super fun. This was fun.
Guys, I think we're looking at a solid 10 out of 10 on a scale of 5. So that's it. Yeah, we win.
Yeah, that one was like a good change of pace. Just giving people what they wanted after just like no music for a while, just like an actual music. And then we also experimented a bit. We got the Wii soundtrack and we mixed it in with some Beethoven, which was cool. Yeah, I know. I can't believe we got the Mine Diamonds guy. We didn't even invite. He just came on his own accord. He found out about it. He just happened to be from Toronto. He found out about it, and he just came to the Ironic Rave. And yeah, that's all there was to it. Really cool guy.
This shit is insane. I don't know how he comes up with this.
Mine Diamonds guy.
This is crazy. And we're sending to DJ Minimal right now.
It's Greg getting in the zone. Yeah, Hunter is just such a natural DJ. He's so good at DJing, and so good at giving people what they want. Like the whole idea for DJ Minimal was just this is it. DJ Minimal was supposed to be just like a DJ who just plays like a kick drum and like a clap, just very minimal elements, but to the point where it's too minimal. There's just way too much space and not enough music. Just like a kick drum, clap, hi hat, kick drum. It didn't feel like it was just too minimal to feel like you're embedded in the actual music. But he started off doing that, and people weren't vibing, and we didn't have enough music going on before as well. So then he decided to kind of pivot it to being more of a kind of a meditative session where you just kind of added a bunch of reverb on top of all these effects, and just play around with the filters and make this kind of ambient vibe out of it, and it turned out well. People really liked it.
You guys know this
D Jude, oh boy, yeah, this one's gonna be
They have
fun.
this one song that's really popular that kind of it's a good song to wrap up the end of the night. So we'll play this song and unite together as one.
Hey Jude,
You may remain seating.
don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. The minute you under your skin.
This was such a wholesome kind of penultimate set to the night. Things were coming to a close already. People were feeling that late night energy. People were tired, it's a good way to wrap things up. Also, a lot of people have already left. 3.5 minutes of na-na-na-nas. 5.5 minutes. People, I love to see people's reactions. People are kind of like vibing, but then I think around here people have finally realized that it's like going on forever. Minecraft, Mine Diamonds guys fully embracing the vibe. 7.5 minutes is already getting kind of nuts. 9 was like, okay, like, let's go. Even Greg was like, yeah, this is horrible. But here, okay, we gotta play around with the music a bit. It was so good.
I have one question to ask you guys. Na-na-na-na?
13.5 minutes. Two angles simultaneously. Mine Diamond's there. This guy's checking his watch to check the time. He's like, how long has this been going on for? 18 minutes. 18 minutes of just na-na-na-na, hey Judes. People were like, at this point, like people weren't even. I think people were like nauseous at this point. People were not having a good time. Like this guy's already like, yeah, it's over. Mine Diamonds guy at this point, while he was embracing the energy of like 5 minutes before, he was like, okay, this is, guys, like, come on, the joke's been going on for long enough. Getting a little faster. Getting a little crazy. We're getting a little crazy. "22 minutes. That was a really fun time. That was D Jude was a Koi original. This is I think Greg didn't really want to do it, but he was kind of like, all right, let's try it out, I guess. But yeah, I kind of insisted. I think it would be. I thought it would have been funny to just like loop that part, especially because there's so many phases of that song. Like there's the first phase where there's the actual song. People are vibing to it. People are like, okay, what's going on? People know there's gonna be a twist. People don't know what's going on yet. Na-na-nas happen. People are just like vibing. Okay, na-na-nas. And at a certain point, people are like, you know, have the na-na-nas been going on for the amount of time that they should have been going on for, or are they like, or is this an extended version of Hey Jude or something? And then I pass like the 7 to 8 minute mark. People are like, okay, like this is clearly looping. And then at like the 18-minute mark, people then realize this is like, yeah, we're like getting deep into this. This is like, we're not messing around here. We're fully in the element here. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that one was a really fun time. You can literally see the irony poisoning. Yeah, people are literally just like, yeah, like dropping out like flies at that point. And this is the last one, DJ Sleepy Time. This is, honestly, DJ Sleepy Time, yeah. I feel like more raves should have music that calm people down. It's very chill. Where people just can just sleep. I feel like DJ Sleepy Time and DJ Daycare could double up pretty well. Everyone's on the floor. Oh my god, yeah. We sleep time. It's so good. Because the venue owners previously were like trying to get, you know, the music, like the na 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 nas, the venue owners were so angry at the na 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 nas. They were like, at that point they were like, oh my god. And then was one guy, Alex, who was DJ Press Play. At this point he was kind of tired because he had to drive like the same day, and so he was trying to get a nap before, like during the DJ Hey Jude set, and someone told him, like one of the managers of the venue told him, no sleeping, no napping, you can't be napping here. But then the next set is DJ Daycare or DJ Sleepy Time, where everyone just lies on the floor and just starts sleeping.
Yeah, that's it. That's Ironic Rave 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo.
That's it. Hope you guys liked Ironic Rave 2 Electric Boogaloo. So I have to say, one of the best parts of the whole rave was the reaction from the venue managers themselves.
So you're talking to who, the bartender?
This is DJ Press Play.
The owner of the venue. And I'm like, hey, so what'd you think? Did you know what you were getting into? And he's like, hey, I thought it'd be ironic. I didn't think it would be stupid.
What song was that?
Oh yeah, we weren't invited back. No, we burned that
I
bridge.
think Hey Jude, maybe.
Oh yeah, Hey Jude, now for like 30 minutes.
Something like that. Yeah, I was trying to take a nap because I was tired, right? And I was trying to get ready for the ride back. And he's like, hey, no napping. I can't have people passed out in here. I'm like, all right, sorry. And then, in like 5 minutes, it's DJ nap time. Everyone takes a fucking nap. He's like, yo, what the fuck? What is going on? Where are they?
Yeah, we got the audio from one of the venue managers.
He's like, yo, what the fuck?
This is during DJ Sleepy Time. Yeah, the cameraman that we had for this event like captured this. He was like happened to be recording and he captured this. This is like one of the best shots. Just like they're like complete, just like they just like the venue manager at this point are completely like hopeless and they're completely just like shocked. No, but we weren't invited back. That was it. That was I feel like we kind of showed that we weren't really their tempo. We weren't really their genre of event. Because the venue, it was the actual venue is Baseline, I think. Baseline, Toronto, yeah. So this, yeah, banging electronic music every night. This is their whole thing, right? So that's kind of what they do. It's just like electronic music, but they do a lot of like, yeah, like the trance, like jungle. Just like a bunch of, but it's not like it's like a low-ish capacity venue. It's like only 100 people, so it's not like crazy venue. It's not like super huge, and that's how we were able to book in the first place. I want to see if I can find our like the posting that they did for Ironic Rave. What is this? Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, this is the cover art that they put out. Yeah, we got one comment here. Electric Boogaloo. We didn't get banned, but no, we didn't get banned, but like it was clearly they clued didn't like it. I was gonna clue this in the video, but decided not to. But there was a point at which, like when we were already like the event finished up, we weren't causing any more of a ruckus. We were just trying to pack our things and go. And I was stopped by the venue owner, who was pretty. It was like mildly. It was like kind of aggressive. Like you know that vibe you get when a man wants to like fight you. He had that in his eyes. He had like that kind of look in his eyes. He was getting close into my personal space, and he was like, "Hey man, just want to let you know that's disrespectful. It's disrespectful, man." Like that. Like it was literally like. Like it was very. It was kind of. It was like kind of shocking. I was like, "Oh damn, bro, just like let it go." You know, we packed. We brought him a full house of people. We packed the venue, and he was still unhappy. You know, so. Whatever. It's that was his choice. Audio is glitching slightly. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. So I have no idea what's going on with this YouTube stream. Let me try to modify the stream stuff. Stream preferences. Stream output. Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. My ear tickles. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. All right. Well, that was it. That was the ironic rave. If it's the laptop's internal mic, it's probably just broken. Huh. Interesting. I don't think it's broken. Shouldn't break that easily. Hello? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just the stream issue. I'm not setting enough keyframes or something. I don't really want to get too deep into this. Just kind of want to keep streaming. Maybe can send a lower bitrate. Or something. I don't know. I'll do super fast. Okay, maybe this will fix things. I don't know. Sounds like lag. Oh boy. I mean, it's watchable. Alright, whatever. It's watchable. We're gaming. Some electric interference. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. Alright, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to quickly see what you guys mean. I'm going to change my input sources. So, say goodbye to system audio. We have had a good time with it, but we're not going to use it anymore. Okay, so now I should be able to understand what you guys mean. So let's see. Alright, I'm going to drag this over here. Alright, I'm going to drag this over here. I'll do super fast. Oh, that is annoying, actually. Okay, maybe this will fix things. I don't know. Yeah, my stream status is poor. Current keyframe frequency is 8.3 seconds. I mean, it's watchable. All right, whatever. It's watchable. Okay, I'm going to quickly Google this. I'm going to quickly chat GPT it. Launch OBS Studio. On the output tab, locate the streaming section. Keyframe interval. Okay, let's look at the keyframe interval here. Keyframe interval output. Keyframe interval. What is it? Output settings. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to diagnose this issue right now. I just want everything to work right now. I just want everything to work right now. Oh. Oh, but I can't change. Oh, I can't change. Oh, I can't change it right now. I think I have to stop streaming. Yeah, let's just do that. Anyways. And that is an issue that we didn't fix, but we will fix on a later stream. Yeah. You're being punished by the audio balancing gods for going to Montreal. That's true. I was in Montreal recently. That is a true fact. I was there a few days ago. 4 or 5 days ago now. Yeah, it could be an external mic thing. It sounds to me like it was like a frame issue. I mean, I don't think I dropped my laptop or anything. I mean, if my laptop mic is broken, I'd be really sad, but we'll see. I'll try to fix it in that latest stream. Good times, good times. What else is there on the internet that's going on? That's cool. That's fun. Let's go on news. Let's see what's going on. Got some Canadian news going on. Okay, we got a lot of sad stories. Sad. Stressful. Sad. Sad and stressful. Sad and stressful. This is kind of cool. Northern Lights. Ooh. This is for Alberta. Interesting. Cool. Isn't this interesting for you guys? I look up news. Look at this. News.google.ca. Yeah, everything's in English, but I'm a Canadian, so it's... Yeah, you got some Aurora Borealis, yeah. think it says Calgary. 35% that Calgary will see it. BC to Quebec. Southern Ontario may have less luck. Yeah, I'm in Southern Ontario. Probably not happening. This is cool though. The race for control over British legislature tightens. So BC, the province of British Columbia, is having a provincial election, which is really cool. You got the NDP versus the Conservatives, I think. Yeah. NDP versus Conservatives. At this time of the year, at this part of the country, that'd be cool. I haven't seen a aurora borealis before. We've had some in Ottawa. Just happens occasionally, like very occasionally, like whenever you go to a spot with no light pollution. Not that we have like a ton, but you know, just a little bit of light pollution can interfere with the actual, you know, visibility of the aurora borealis. But yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. I've never seen one. I really want to see one. It'd be cool. Hello, Daniil. Dan, how's it going? Long time. Actually, it hasn't been that long. It's been a few weeks. Let's look at News Ottawa. You guys want to check out some Ottawa news? Oh, let's go to the Ottawa subreddit. Ottawa. We've got 178 people online. We're one of those 178. All right. So we got some bangers here. We got U Ottawa, GEO, and OPH extend monitoring of viruses and wastewater to 2025. Damn. Ooh. Oh, actually, I was out today walking around with my friend, and we got to see the sunset today. It was insanely beautiful. Look at this. Look at the colors. So nice. So beautiful. This is where I live. I live in Ottawa. This is a 20-minute walk for my place. A foggy morning. Nice, just hanging at the Grussel studio. Cool. Who's at the Grussel studio right now? Oh, I also heard that you're a member. That's cool. I'm gonna visit the studio soon. I don't know when yet, but like soonish, maybe in like a month and a half or something. Addiction on streets. Yeah, so Ottawa is having pretty bad like homelessness problem right now in downtown. So this person's from a country where this doesn't happen. I wonder what country they're from. Yeah, I noticed that like since COVID happened, the amount of people that are just on the street just like doubled or tripled. It's crazy. I remember biking through this area recently, and I remember there just being like no homeless people, and now it's like just full of homeless people. It's crazy. Like there's just people everywhere. It's like it's crazy. Like something's happening, and like I do feel like the rent increase is a huge part of it, because like, you know, the more expensive goods are, right, like the harder it is. Like you can still you can still conceivably afford things if you really tried hard. But a lot of the time is like, you know, you don't want to just be treading water your whole life. Like, you don't want to just be like living paycheck to paycheck. And the more housing costs and living costs go up in general, the more people are kind of in that paycheck to paycheck territory, or even going into debt because they can't afford things. And that's just kind of really disheartening. And then it causes people to kind of just give up on life, and it's really sad. And it's kind of like because everything's so expensive, it's kind of like a vicious cycle. But yeah. Anyways, that's just another little insight into the Ottawa situation. We got what's going on? What is this? Can we get the Chuds off Wellington? Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, we got people, the truckers. You know, Ottawa was in the global spotlight a few years ago when there's like all the truckers came to downtown to protest, the COVID mandates and lockdowns and stuff. And they just there's the truckers are all gone now. But like since then it was there's like a few that just persist still. Like there's a few of their megaphones and like, you know, Trump-esque kind of vibe, I guess. Like they're just kind of like these big signs, very flashy kind of bits that they're talking about. Yeah, anyway, so there's just a lot. Those guys just have. There's a few that still remain that still have their like megaphone that still like talk about how like Bill Gates is trying to take over the world by injecting viruses into your vaccine or whatever. That can then take over your body like Plankton did from SpongeBob SquarePants movie. But yeah, we got Quebec language watchdog orders Gatineau Cafe to make Instagram posts in French. This is fucking crazy. So there's this so in Ottawa we have this unique thing. Okay, what's going on here? It's Bernard from COVID crisis. No one left the studio at the Gressel studio. I'm going to sleep soon too, but we're waiting for your visit. All right, well I'll come. I'll come soon. I'll be there soon. Can't wait to see you there. Bearfax probably popping tonight. Oh yeah, you know it. The Bearfax. Bearfax is like in Ottawa. It's like a kind of like a strip club in like downtown, just kind of in a weird spot. Does Gatineau actually speak French, or it's English because it's still like Ottawa? Gatineau, it's actually interesting because the older I've been getting, the more I've realized that like Ontario and Quebec are just separate in terms of culture completely. It is very interesting to me. Like Gatineau does predominantly speak French, and if you're in Gatineau, you should like the expectation is that you converse in French, or at least you try to talk in French. And I was in Montreal a few days ago, and I was we were walking around, like my girlfriend and I were walking around, and we were going to these restaurants, and we were like, talking and interacting with people, and like it was kind of awkward to like it like English did seem like a second language, and it was kind of like people could talk English to you, but it was kind of like, okay, we're gonna talk English, right? Like just because we didn't know French that well. Like she knew French. I can speak French, but I'm pretty bad. I'm like I mix up words pretty easily. But it was like very interesting to kind of be in that space. And it was kind of like, oh, this is kind of foreign. Like I'm from Canada, and like I live 10 15 minute walk to Gatineau, to like the Gatineau border. And like the moment you enter, everything's just different. Like people, like the culture is different, and like the laws are different. Like the building codes are different even. And it's a very interesting. And one of the things here I want to point out here, the Quebec language watchdog stuff, orders Gatineau Cafe to make. So this whole thing um, there is a huge industry in Canada to around like it's like Canada's not a very litigious country, but when it comes to French language and enforcing French language laws, it's like there's like so much litigation, so much enforcement happening around that. I know someone who's literally like a millionaire. They're like a lawyer, and they're just like that's what they do. And it's like crazy. There's a lot of money behind it. And for the better or for the worse, like that's just the way, it is. Um, it's kind of tough because like we have like Canada as a whole is like English, but then we have Quebec that is French, and then more and more people are trying to. A lot of English people are going to Quebec, and their French language is kind of it's not dying out, but it is petering out a little bit. So the Quebec government is trying to enforce these laws because they want to enforce their culture. They want to make sure that they preserve their culture as much as possible. And so it's tough because you have this like Quebec culture, this French like this small French nation nests inside a like a way bigger like English country, and it's like it's kind of hard for them not to get subsumed, especially when we don't really have like borders. You can just like walk across to Quebec, like this, you can work in Quebec super easily. It's just a province in Canada, right? Yeah, exactly. It does go back to that. It does go back to like a lot of Canada being French at some point, and then like the whole war that they had with the English. So yeah, it did go back to that, and it's kind of like a whole kind of historical point of contention that's still happening right now. It's more of like it's more of just like a culture war thing. You know what I mean? Like it was, or like the people who are speaking English and who are kind of annoyed by these French language laws, like I can understand it because you're like you're like this is your own country and you feel like you have to like you feel like you're kind of forced to speak French or whatever, right? Even though you might not know French, right? But like on the other side, you have like these people that are predominantly French that they might not know English, and then more and more people are coming into their province or de facto a country, right? And just taking over their culture and like speaking English and kind of like, and I understand that, but it's tough, You have the English people who don't really understand the implications of that as much. Like I feel like people, like I don't know, whatever. How common is well, let me read the comments here. I love them sticking the word cafe in front of all the Starbucks so Montrealers don't lose their minds. Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny. Doesn't that go back to the settling of Canada? Yeah, I legally had to take a pic of the KFC en français sign. Microdosing the European experience. Exactly. Exactly. You know what's actually a really cool place to go to is Quebec City. That is like the first North American city, basically. Like the first. When the Europeans arrived via the St. Lawrence, they settled into Quebec City, and yeah, this is where they settled, and it's like really beautiful. It's all French, so it's more French in Montreal. Montreal is supposedly 50-50 French English. Didn't feel like that to me. Felt more French than English. But Quebec City is very much very French, but they do have a lot of tourism, and they're very proud of their culture, and it is like actually extremely beautiful. Whenever I'm here, I'm kind of like shocked by like how like insane it is. Like I don't know where the actual. Let me drop a guy here. Yeah, look at this. Like, look at this. This feels like Europe. Do you know what I mean? This is literally Europe. Like, look at this. And look at these one-way roads. Look how, like... Because the one thing I don't like about North American design are the fact that, like, the roads are really wide. And, like, you know, it's kind of nice for a road to be, like, a one-way road to kind of, like, tight. So buildings are tighter together. Something about that is nice. Because when things are too spread out, it's a bit too... Feels a bit too much like a liminal space, almost. Yeah, super French. But it's not even the French. This is not even like the most French part. But look at this whole vibe. You know what I mean? Like, look at this whole vibe. Like, is this French? Like, so they did a really good job of preserving their culture here. And let's go here. Parc de Gouverneurs. This place is cool. There's a courtyard that's really beautiful. I think it might be over here. Let's drop a guy here. Oh yeah. Yeah, like when you're here, like just this whole vibe is just so interesting. Like it's so beautiful. It's just unlike any American city. Like let's go to any American city, right? Let's drop a guy in any American city. Like I don't know. What's a Cincinnati, where Harambe died, okay? R.I.P. Press F in the chat. Like, come on. You know what I mean? And, like, the French people, like, this is English culture. This is kind of, like, very English, like, Anglo-inspired, I find. Like, even in Ottawa, like, we have a little bit of, like, we have something there in Ottawa, but, like, this is the vibe. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. But then you have, like, French architecture and French, like, culture, and it's, like, really beautiful in its own right. And I think, like, you know, I think the French are onto something with the whole English, you know, like, preserving the whole French language. Because, like, I think, like, the French language is a reflection of the culture as well. It's a deep reflection of the culture. It's something that's kind of, like, at the root of the cultural sphere. So I think they do have a, you know, I think what they're doing is, like, it makes sense. Do you not like car-centered infrastructure? Okay. I have a drag adjacent take to this. So my take is I like either extremely car-centric infrastructure or extremely walkable infrastructure. I don't like the in-betweens. I don't really like them. But I like the one, the other, right? Like, I really like Quebec City's, like, you know, walkable vibe, where you can just, like, you're there, you just walk around. I really like being in downtown, like, downtown Ottawa is where I live, and I can just walk to the store, buy stuff, and walk to the market in, like, 30 minutes or that kind of thing. It's nice. But then there's something to be said about, like, places like LA, where it's just so car-centric, it's, like, insane. But it's almost like a vibe in itself, you know what I mean? Like, you're just driving around endlessly in this kind of metropolis. You know what I mean? There's something about it. Like, the whole place was just made for cars. And it's, like, unapologetically car-centric. And it's like, you know, the LA vibe is like you're driving a car and then just enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the palm trees around you. That is the vibe. You know, like there's something to be said about, you know, enjoying the sunshine and palm trees and walking around, yada yada. But that's fine. But there's a lot of other places that can do that. But like LA does this whole thing so well, where you just drive around, like just to go to work, you have to spend like an hour in your car. But you're like, yeah, this is the vibe. This is the vibe of LA. Let's go. Like, look, it's like, oh, man, and LA just doubles down on it. Like, look, this is insane. Like, LA is just such a huge urban sprawl, and everything's like a 1 or 2 story. It's like the most American thing in the world, right? Like, even Canada is like not as bad as this. America's just like the worst at this. But like, just like everything is being 1 or 2 stories. You know, like there's no idea, there's no kind of inkling of an idea for densification or desire for densification. Everything's just like, oh, let's just make everything a single story. And then the roads are wide. Look how wide the roads are. Like, they don't even care. Like, and I just love that. Like, I love that. I think that's amazing. You're just really honing in on this. I was in LA for VidCon, and I was in Anaheim, and I was just walking around one day, and it was just like, and I was just like shocked at how quiet it was, because everything is so spread out, and like the lot sizes are so big, that ended up just like just being quiet, and we're in the middle of like Anaheim, and that's how big the distances are in LA. It's like you're in the middle of a city, surrounded by just a city, but because everything is just kind of like a single story, and everything just kind of takes its space, you could be in a community where there's just not a lot of people at a certain time for whatever reason, and then it's just quiet, but you're like in the middle of LA. It's my 2 years in Canada today, and I came here under the French language immigration quotas now. Well, that's so funny. So you know French, or you know some French, I guess. You know it enough to actually be accepted into Canada. Houston, Texas highway. Okay, Houston. Let's look at Houston. Oh my god. Houston is honestly hilarious. Oh my god, look how big this interchange is. Good lord. Houston is insane. Look at this. Holy moly. I don't know, this is probably not even that crazy, but just like, that's crazy. I don't know, just like the American vibe, you know, based. Like, I'm not putting down Europe. I like Europe as well. Like, the really walkable European places are dope. But this is also sick. You're just in a car, just driving around. This is amazing. I love this. What's going on here? I like cities designed around public transport. Yeah. If you don't have a car, I mean, in practice, it's nice to be around public transport, to have some kind of access. Like, if you don't, that means that way you don't need a car, right? Like, if you live in Houston, Texas, you're screwed if you don't have a car. Like, you're screwed, right? Paying $50, you know, every single time you want to take an Uber somewhere. The vibe is dystopian. Yeah. Well, not. I mean, if you have money, it's fine. If you're poor, it's dystopian for sure. But that's kind of the way. It's kind of the axioms that America kind of set on. Is like, okay, if you're poor, you're screwed, right? Even like just like down to the healthcare aspect of it. Like, yeah, you're poor, you can't afford to live, basically. Which is like crazy to me. But like, those are the axioms that they decided to settle on, and that's kind of how their society has been structured around that, or structured around like a person kind of rising up by themselves, you know, and earning their own money, kind of thing. And that's kind of their axioms, and they're the most powerful nation in the world somehow from that, right? Right? Because I don't know. They attract people who work, and they pay them more than other countries generally. And yeah, I don't know. There's far more people who work there than that don't work, so it checks out. And now in America, I think they're also, maybe I'm wrong about this, but there's like some, there's some, so there's a little bit of social safety nets now. When you know, like there's like Obamacare or something. There's like something now. It's not as bad as I think people make it seem. I mean, I'd rather be poor in America than poor in like Mexico or something, to be honest, or like poor anywhere else, or most parts of the world, right? Like America's not a bad place to be poor by any means, despite that. Anyways, have you taken a break from software development, or are you still working on your apps? I am taking a break. I've posted the video. I don't know if you guys saw the video. But I just did a video. Oh wait, what is this? What's going on here? What is this? 9 watching. Oh, thanks guys. Didn't realize how many was watching right now. Yeah, I posted this video. Just kind of me plainly talking about my apps. How I spent like an entire year building them and like my experience. And I just yapping for 13 minutes basically. But yeah, just highlights of my experiences, highlights of my issues, the recommendations, advice, that kind of stuff. It's all, if you're trying to make apps, get into making something seriously, this is kind of like my 2 cents about like, the whole experience and, what I learned from that and like what you can learn from that and what you should do. So, if you're into that, give it a watch. I think the closest to this in Russia is Vladivostok. Everyone has cars as well. It just looks poor. I actually want to go to Vladivostok. I was talking to someone about, I think they were Russian, and like they were saying that like this part of Russia is like Canada's BC, because Canada is like, Canada. Most people in Canada are like here. Maybe some's over here, but then like BC is kind of like this like mystical spot that's far away from everything else, from the major population centers. And so same thing as Russia is like most people are crowded around over here, right? Moscow, St. Petersburg, like there's like this strip over here. People are kind of like loosely sprinkled around here, and then there is just all the way east. There's Vladivostok over here, and it's like an interesting place. It's so interesting just to live here. Yeah, it definitely noticeably looks poorer. But you can afford your food. You can afford your car. Gas probably isn't too bad in Russia. It's fine. It's worse than you think. America's a very bad place to be poor. Elaborate. What is your anecdotal experience like for like, America, poverty in America? The funny thing is that if you know French, you can immigrate to Ontario, but not Quebec, because Ontario wants more French-speaking people. Wait, what? Why do they care that if you speak French or not? But Quebec won't let you. That's weird. Okay, maybe like that's kind of like a weird requirement that like the Quebec government set on Ontario is like, oh, we want this in we want this as part of the immigration bill, but we don't actually want these people. But like we want to make sure people that arrive here know French. So French, and they try to poison Ontario with the French language. The video is great. Thanks, Bert. Appreciate it. Healthcare costs, though. Yeah, healthcare is expensive in America. But yeah, I don't know enough about the system, because I don't know. It might be like a thing where like people say it's expensive, but like, you like how often do you actually have to go to the hospital? and I mean most people are insured. So I don't know, it's weird. But again, if you're poor, you have no insurance, you're screwed. But like I'm sure there's some. I remember reading there's like some states like California provides like some kind of like if you earn under like 30K or something, you get like free healthcare or something. Some I don't know. Vladivostok looks low-key Brazilian. Does it actually? I don't. I wouldn't say so. I want to see their beaches. Yeah, does Vladivostok have solid beaches? Oh yeah. This looks like a beach. Honestly, this looks kind of bleak. It's not too bad. Honestly, probably wouldn't be bad living here. Got a few tall buildings. Even has its own equivalent of Golden Gate Bridge. Okay. So the government programs in Ontario really want people who speak French. Right. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Like, there's a big push in government to like know French. Like, you can only get a job if you know French now, kind of thing. And it's so funny because I know someone who's like complaining because they do like technical work in the government in Canada for the federal government. And they got like a lot of these like system architects, these people that are relatively high up that have a big kind of impact on the rest of the work that people are going to be doing downstream from them. But they're actually just like bad, like they actually just suck as architects. But they know French, so the fact they know French was prioritized over their actual skill to be like a good architect. It's not like you have two equivalently skilled systems architects, then one knows French and one doesn't. It's no, you have one who's like worse, but happens to know French, and they're picked over the person who doesn't know French, who's probably not going to be even using French a lot in their job, but they just know it because it's a requirement. So it's kind of weird, ineffective system. I think if the position needs French, if you're going to be talking to people in French in the government, then that's a clearly requirement. But if you're just like doing some kind of technical work, like why do you need to do that? It's stupid. That's what I would do. Chloe, have you ever known someone's family not claim their body because they can't afford a funeral? Then had your friends crowdfund buying the ashes from the city? So hold up, how'd that happen? So the person dies, they have to pay to get that person's body from the hospital? I guess that makes sense, because that's how it works, right? They're not going to just do it for free. Yeah, that's kind of messed up. I mean, it's interesting. It's a government program to promote francophone communities outside Quebec, which already has enough. Yeah. I concur. It's weird being in a country where half the people live in a hellscape nightmare and the other half are millionaires. Yeah. That's kind of the thing. It's just objectively nice. Like Canada is honestly pretty good, I find. Like, I really don't like the weather here. Like, I wish it wasn't so cold all the time. Like, it's already like chilly. Like, it's already sweater weather now in Canada, in Ottawa. It's already like I have to walk around. It's gonna be like 14, 15 degrees Celsius tomorrow. Like, and then the winters are gonna be like minus 20, 25 degrees Celsius. But we have questionable healthcare and questionable systems sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's like having a social safety net kind of gives you that peace of mind, even if you have money. You know what I mean? Because in an alternate reality where you didn't have money, you would be screwed basically if you're in America. So in America, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I can see why people live in multiple realities here in Texas. If you don't clean a body, the city has to dispose of it. Oh my god. And they give you a window to reimburse them for the cremation. That's how it works. Jesus. America, you're not that based. I thought you would be more based. The most powerful country in the world. You gotta pay for your own. You gotta pay for the city to bring your loved one's body to you. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I talked to a few people in America about like their healthcare situation because some, I know some creators, YouTubers in America who just make money off of, they're just self-employed, but they don't actually have health insurance because they're like whatever. But then I'm like, where's the mindset behind that? Like, what do you like? If I didn't have health insurance in America, I'd be panicking. Like when I went to Miami for a month, this winter, like in February, I made sure to call my insurance at my job. I literally called them. I stayed on hold for half an hour, and I was like, okay, guys, I'm just wondering if I go to America for a month, I'm just gonna like, is it covered? Like, if I go to a hospital, is that covered? And they're like, yeah, we're gonna cover you. I'm like, okay, cool. Just to make sure, because like that kind of brought me like I'll be on a day-to-day basis if I didn't have insurance in America. If I just the idea of like getting into an accident, would petrify me, because like that's just your entire life savings. Everything you've been like working for is just completely gone. Maybe you just maybe had like a lapse in judgment for like half a second, and then you like you crash into like somewhere. I don't know. Things can happen, right? It's insane to me. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, the other thing though about America though, like if you're trying to work in America, it's like really good. Like as like a programmer, like the average salary for a programmer in Canada, in Ottawa where I'm from, I would say is like 90K Canadian dollars, which is let's look at what 90K 90,000. Let's go to Google.com. 90,000 CAD to USD, 66,000 American dollars average. Okay, this is the average programmer salary. In average programmer salary USA. Okay, I guess this is kind of I guess it is. It's about the same, to be honest. Wait, actually, okay. Average, okay, programmer salary Canada. Okay, you know what? Actually, whatever. $67,000 per year. This is Canadian. Everything's just so different. I don't know, like. Anyways, so long story short, people in America who program get way more money. But my knowledge, like it's easy to. I don't know what I'm saying. What are you guys saying? I didn't really like the GTA. I wish I moved to Alberta or Manitoba instead of Ontario. Are you still in the GTA, Bert? GTA is fun. I like Toronto. I wouldn't live there personally. Like it's not quite a livable space for me. Like it's weird. It feels like too tight, and the air quality is not good. It's like an actual city. I don't know. It's just like it's like feel like you're trapped. And it's fun to be there for like 4 or 5 days whenever I come to Toronto. Like I wouldn't live there. Or if I did, maybe it would be like only a few months, but it would be under the expectation that I would like return. But like a lot of people are trying to there's a new thing like for those of you who don't know, there's a lot of people in Toronto because Toronto's cost of living is insane. Like the average house price in Toronto is like $1.2 million. That's another problem that Canada has that America doesn't. American housing is way cheaper usually, but a lot of people are trying to move from Toronto to Calgary because Calgary's in Alberta. Calgary's the last kind of affordable spot, and where people can actually like afford to live and make a living. But Ottawa is actually a pretty good spot too, and I feel like Ottawa's being overlooked. And Ottawa's not too far from Toronto either, and our houses aren't too bad compared to Toronto in terms of price. So yeah. Anyways, what are you guys saying? So Bert, Bert, if you're wanting to move, you should consider Ottawa. Ottawa's not bad. I think what's cool about America is I once lent my friend $2,000 for a lawyer because if he'd been defended by the state, he'd gotten 10 years for possession. Oh my god. Yeah. That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, it's really dystopian. Or just to represent yourself. Represent yourself. Just. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Meaning a decade of your life is worth low four figures here. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't understand. I feel like the justice system is so subjective, right? Because there's so many. It's not just like what the person did about it's not just the crime that the person committed, but also like their behavior in court. And there's a lot of like factors that go into deciding what the sentence for the person is. But in an ideal world, it would be cool if we had like a database of like crime and like the appropriate like length of like the crime based on like what they did. So all these billionaires, they like FTX for example, like you got Sam Bankman-Fried who's just like he's like, whoops, so here's billions of dollars just gone, right? Like if an average person did that with no defense, they're screwed. Like they're throw the away the key kind of vibe. And they should. It's just crazy how like lawyers can buy you that kind of power to just like escape that sentencing. But if we had like an AI system, right, like a system where things were kind of like objective, right, not just like subjective based on like the judge's mood and whatever, like the power of the defendant, this lawyer or whatever, right? If it was more objective, I think that would really kind of make things more even across, but that's not really. I guess America's not about like equality. It's more about power, right? So yeah, for a beginner right now, you can expect 60 to 80 Canadian dollars, likely on the low side. The beginner is fucked. Yeah. I started off making like 63K right after university a few years ago. And I was just like, whatever. But then, like, you stick in there for a few years, I'm making way more now, so. But, like, yeah, if you're a beginner, you're screwed. It's, like, hard. I think it's a very important life skill to learn how to be functionally poor. Yeah, that's I agree. It's always good to, like, it's also just, like, good mentally to, like, know how to be poor, like, and treat life like that, because like people always like I remember I reached the kind of this realization where you know how like you don't have a lot of money, you fantasize about eating like good food or whatever. You're like, oh my god, it'd be nice to go to a restaurant and have this. So I reached a point at which like I was eating out like not like super often, but like enough, like once or twice a week. I was like, I was getting what I wanted, and then at that point I kind of realized like eating out, like if I had like $1 billion, I don't think I would like this that much more. Like maybe like a 10% more, but I already saw the ceiling. And like then I realized that like money can't really buy you a lot, after like, peace of mind, right? That you're not going to be screwed. but like in terms of like material enjoyment, I don't know, like there's a ceiling that's very easily attained with it, and that's kind of cliche, but you know, with certain things there is a ceiling that's kind of lower than you would expect. I'm in Russia right now, lol. Are you ever coming back for it? Russian housing is only cheaper in rural regions. American housing is only cheaper. If I said Russian, no, I meant American. American housing is only cheaper in rural regions. I think American housing is cheaper across the board. I remember looking, even LA, like Ottawa housing prices are like LA housing prices basically right now. So, and Ottawa's not even like it's like not like a major city. It's like a middle-sized city. So, like the average house price in like Vancouver, for example. Let's pull up house price in Vancouver, just to give you guys a taste of like Canadian real estate market and how like bad it is. Okay, all right. Let's do entire range. British Columbia, yeah. Okay, let's do say you want to buy a house. It's a detached house, nothing crazy. All right, what's the average price here? Okay, you got 2.5 million, you got 1.8 million, you got 2.9 million, you got 3.5 million, you got 3 million, you got 2 million. This is kind of far already. You got 1.4 million. This, to go from here to here, is like an hour train ride, commute. And this is the house that you get for $1.4 million. An hour away from the core. This is what you get. Yeah, Vancouver is and the thing is, the wages in Vancouver are like way lower than like a lot of U.S. cities with like equivalent or house prices that are kind of trying to like, you know, get close to this. Like the average income in Vancouver is like 70K or something. Like just think about that. Isn't that crazy? And like you have these houses that are like $2 million, and it's like not even that crazy. Look at this. This is This is, guys. This is 2.2. This is 2.3. Almost 2.3 million dollars. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this house. This is 2.3 million dollars. Like what? Look at this. Look at this. You got to see the mountains. That's pretty cool. But $2.3 million. $2.3 million. That's crazy. Like this is 2.3 million. You know what I mean? That's nuts. So yeah. The rich. This actually gets covered in the noise book I sent you. Cool. Like our perception effect sentencing. Yeah. I think that's cool. It's a very interesting topic. The rich are building AI though. No, a computer can never decide sentencing because a robot cannot be held accountable. Basic AI ethics closed. No, I think it's important to use computers. I disagree. I don't think it should have a final judgment, but I think it should be able to, like, I don't think it's right that a judge can, you know, like in a bad mood can like sentence someone for 20 years for possessing weed in a state where it's like illegal. But then, you know, if you have the right lawyers in the same state, you could just be like, oh, you get like 10 hours of community service or whatever. Right? So if you have like an objective metric of like, okay, well the average sentencing for weed is like this, right? Then it's like, they can base it off that metric. And then if it's like a crazy metric, like if it's like, oh, historically we've given people 10 years for weed possession and that's messed up, then that could be like changed in the system. I think it's good. Like I shouldn't have the final say, but I think it should be. I definitely think it should have a part in making justice more equal. Human beings are robots of biology. They can argue. The money always wins. House in New York City is cheaper than both Toronto and Vancouver. Yeah, it is. Like house in Toronto in New York City is not even like that crazy. Not super not that expensive. To be honest, like I remember looking it up. Zillow. Maybe we completely out of it, but like look at this already. Look, you get it. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in a bit more so that way you're not like cherry picking. But like some around here. Okay, let's pick a house here. Okay, this is 900K for an apartment, but it's kind of close to Manhattan, so it kind of makes sense. But let's do home type, deselect all. Let's do just townhouses or just houses. You get a 5-bedroom house for 1.65 million near one of the like craziest cities in the world, like the biggest cities in the world. You're like the core. And it's like nicely renovated, and I don't know what the area is, but it's probably not too bad. Maybe it is. I don't know. But like, okay, even the fact, okay, there's a lot of expensive options here, I admit. But like the fact that you have like more affordable housing here, like suddenly the prices drop, but it's in a different area. All right, like you guys, like America, I find has like a kind of disparity in areas. Like a lot of the areas, like it's either super rich or it's like kind of like middle class or like lower class. Like they have like you have a wide socioeconomic kind of platter variety to choose from. But in Canada, we kind of have like everything's kind of like more equalized along the board. We don't have like these insane like wealth disparities. But then what happens is you have people like the cheapest housing goes up, right? So the cheap, like a house that would cost in America like usually like 200K, in Canada would be like $500,000, because people can kind of try to afford. People can afford that supposedly, but not in reality, not really. So, what's the solution to this? Do we build a bunch of apartments? Yeah, I mean, Canada has actually been building a lot of apartments since COVID. So yeah, that's been happening. But I don't think I think like densification is important, but I also don't think it's I don't think that like we have a lot of we just build more houses, just like more houses. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to just give up on this housing dream and just be like, okay, now we got to put everything in these apartments. It's just the fact that we like had an influx in immigration that was like too crazy for the past few years that caused housing to spike. And also with like economic factors like quantitative easing, a bunch of the central bank pumping in a bunch of money into the system, which indirectly affected housing prices to balloon basically. Not just Canada, but also the U.S. Right? So, but like the immigration thing is a huge issue, so that's kind of slowing down right now. And housing is catching up to that. I want the QSR Santa Pointed apartments here. Housing issue. You know what's funny about USSR housing is that like on the outside it looks horrific, but on the inside a lot of it is just beautiful. Like I find from my experience, they're just the inside is just so nice. Big tech owns the means of production of AI, gains ownership of the legal system. Yeah, that is an issue. But that's also like I admit that's an issue, right? But I also do think like AI can help us, right? Like ChatGPT does increase productivity. It can help. I was coding when I was coding Sound Pace and Pace Kit in my app over here. Oh yeah, you got a little sneak peek of the app. But when you if I didn't use ChatGPT, I'd be screwed. Like I think like the fact that ChatGPT is like free and is so information so readily accessible is actually is a huge win for the average person. So, yeah, I mean, there's a whole other discussion on like the morality of like the scraping, like the fact that it had to like scrape the entire internet and like use other people's information, other people's info basically to create ChatGPT. And then now Microsoft trying to monetize it somehow. There's a whole discussion around that. But like on average, the technological feat is like insane enough. to be like, you know, to warrant like some positive in society. Like I wouldn't be able to build those apps. I wouldn't be able to sell those apps. I wouldn't be able to do any of those things without ChatGPT. Basically, like that's how much ChatGPT helped. Like just like scouring the internet for like documentation. I used to have to do that all the time before ChatGPT. It was super annoying, but now ChatGPT could like do that all for me. It's really beneficial, honestly. Remove zoning restrictions and stop slowing down construction with regulations and feed like the Trudeau government is doing right now. Yeah, that's kind of the narrative, and I agree with that. I mean, building's always good. I mean, I think like housing starts kind of move with like, you know, economic incentive. But like, yeah, if we do that in the short term, I think like, yeah, definitely things would get more built, and the supply issue would get resolved way faster. But also like, there's also issues with removing red tape, right? Like red tape is not good, but also, you know, generally not good because it slows down stuff. But there's also something to bureaucracy. It's the idea of standardizing development across the board, making sure that there's this kind of certain level of quality. And I think like, you know, if we're able to maintain the same level of quality while giving up the, you know, while giving up while cutting red tape, then sure, that's great. But like, it's those kind of things are kind of go hand in hand right now. Commie blocks are absolutely awful, and you don't want to live in one. I'm saying that as someone who lives in one right now, and for 80% of my life. My I was in Kiev 4 or 5 years ago, and like I was in like in a commie block apartment, just like visiting someone, and it was so nice because like you had like 4 commie block apartments, and in the middle is like a courtyard, and there's like kids could like play and stuff, and it's like, you know, you have the classic family dynamic where like you have the kitchen and like, you know, there's just like picture like, you know, you have your kid, right, and then you're just like, you know, at the kitchen, and then you can see where your kid is playing in the playground, and you can just like call on them, and like that whole conception of reality just doesn't exist in the West, and I kind of like that. But obviously there's issues with that as well, but also there's, you know, I'll defer to your judgment because you actually live there, as opposed to my kind of like, you know, as opposed to me viewing it through rose-colored glasses. I'm so wait, which borough are you in? I don't know if you're responding to the comment or you're asking me. I'm in Ottawa. So, EU actually released some small LLMs. I'm surprised they're not that terrible, but it was like 1.7 billion, so kind of useless. Right. Yeah, I mean, the EU has been lagging on everything, basically. Apparently it's like a huge issue. Like, I was reading something about, like, you know, the French president Macron was kind of being like, so apparently we're not productive enough. We're slipping behind other nations. We're doing too much governing and not enough not producing enough stuff. Are we concerned that all boomers are not? Are we concerned that all the boomers not being able to afford extended health care into retirement? Is that an issue? I don't know. They can't afford healthcare into retirement. I guess on the American side, eh? Housing. I'm pretty tired, by the way, but I'm liking this. I'm kind of delirious. Oh, not delirious, but I'm pretty tired. But I'm having fun. It's okay. It's fun. Housing is supposed to be 1 year of a person's salary for permanent residence. That was the case until 2010s. Banks deciding the real estate was a portfolio asset. Fuck this all. Yeah, I mean, housing's weird because it's like, it's just so intertwined with interest rates, right? And the lower the interest rates, the more dependent we get on the banks, right? Because if interest rates are like 20%, right, like you're paying 20% a year on the loan that you take out, which is a lot of money. So people would more or less pay in cash, and the more people pay in cash, the less power banks have over us. So, you know, interest rates have been gradually decreasing since the 80s. And also the modernization of tech, you know, and like, you know, banks have kind of have more of a stronghold on like a person's finances nowadays, but also the fact that interest rates are so low, the banks could effectively just like charge a person the amount of money that like people don't like if interest rates are like 1 or 2%, banks can just like charge a person like how much they can afford on a monthly basis as opposed to how much the thing is actually worth. Like a house could objectively be only worth like 200K, but then the market value for the house is 500K, and it's only 500K because people can afford to pay that much and be able to afford to take out the loans that the bankers are giving them, basically. I don't know if that made sense. It's not really free. You're paying in your personal data while using it. Yeah, I guess you are paying. This is, you know, there's multiple conversational threads going on here. It's not really free. So this is back to AI. It's not really free. You're paying in your personal data while using it. Yeah, it's true. And it's like, it's not fair for like all the artists, for example, that like put all their artwork on the internet, right? And like, you know, for free, you know, but like, you know, maybe not even for free. Maybe it's just like they have their artwork that's out there, but like it's accessible by Google to scrape, and then they just scrape that, and then they're using their artwork that is paywalled. It should be paywalled. They're using like snippets of inspirations of their artwork and generating an image for you, kind of thing, and that's messed up. My vision for AI at that point is like, well, this is like flat out like, you know, we should be more socialist with AI at that point then, because you're using the people. This is like classic capitalism, though. It's like exploiting the labor of a person. But this is like, you're literally not even exploiting. You're literally just taking their labor for free, and then like ask people to pay for a service. But the difference is with AI, it's like at least you are getting a service back. Like you're able to, you know, you're able to analyze. You're able to like actually use the service and able to use it for your own personal benefit, which is good. But there's a consent issue for sure. Like you might not consent, but they still scrape your data because they're like, whatever. I think we're just like, it's a race to the bottom where things are just gonna get like cheaper and cheaper, and like things are just gonna, we're just racing to everything's gonna become free soon, basically. Or if not free, then money's gonna have no meaning. Things are gonna cost like $2 trillion. Like a townhouse is gonna cost $10 million, but it just like means nothing. I don't even know what I'm saying. Okay. Oh, I'm aware they're horrible in most places now and run down full of drug abuse, poorly maintained. I meant like when they were first made. You were responding to him. Oh, I don't know what's going on here. But the borough question is, when you were looking at the New York City prices, certain boroughs of the city are way cheaper, but also like you will die living there. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like there's different areas of New York City that is that maybe I'm just not familiar with. But look at Manhattan. Look at this. You got $25 million for an apartment, which is crazy. But this is Manhattan prices. This is what you get for living in the most powerful city, most economically advantageous city in the world. Yeah, but look at this. It's not too bad. Like I'm sure like you won't die living here. You know what I mean? Like these boroughs seem fine. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. You know, it could be wrong. But like you guys have more variety, right? Like you guys have so many like, and then like, you know, worst case, okay, perhaps everything's expensive here. New Jersey's an option, right? You can just buy a house, and like, how much is New Jersey? I'm sure it's way cheaper. Yeah, and New Jersey's like fine. You know, you're not gonna die in New Jersey. I was there. I was around here at some point for a while, and it was fine. Like there's kids running around, there's parks and stuff, and the real estate wasn't like insane. So yeah, and this is New York City too. This is one of the most expensive cities. Okay. I'm gonna go get some breakfast. Have a good. Oh yeah, you're just waking up at that Russian time. Banks win when velocity of money increases. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Because more people can just borrow money. Scraping the web doesn't scrape paywalled content. It doesn't, but like the analogy I was using is like Getty images, like this stuff, for example. You know what I mean? Like you have an image that they're trying to sell you with like these labels, whatever. But then it doesn't matter. You can just like still scrape this image with the Getty images, right? So there's a lot of things like that on the internet. I feel like that's kind of that was the analogy I was using. I want to go back to. Oh, yeah, here we go. Consistent workers under capitalism require socially sanctioned forever debt. The system is what it does. A minute ruling class does not benefit from a population freedom of time and movement. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean that's true. You gotta have workers that are working to keep the system afloat. That's the reality, right? When you're like, if you happen to have a good job where you're just like, you do a little bit of work, but then you're just like chilling, like you have to think to yourself like you gotta have a deep appreciation for that, because someone has to take out the trash, someone has to stock the shelves at the grocery store, like someone has to do all those things, right? And you just lucked out and got a job that's just like not that and like way easier. The thing about like America is I find like people like money is like just like the relationship with money, like people are just like enamored by it. Like that's kind of like the raison d'etre for a lot of people in America is just money. Like whenever I go from Canada to America, like the money centricity kind of appears more there. It's weird, and I can't even properly articulate it, but even a lot of people in America, the way their minds are structured is just like around that. You know what I mean? Like there's some, but there's like America's like also more extreme. It's either you're like super money centric or like not money centric at all kind of thing. I find in Canada people are more like, kind of like chilled out and kind of like have a more holistic approach to it, for the better, for the worse. But yeah, what I was gonna say. Yeah, I was gonna say like the relationship with the worker. Like if you're a worker in America, you're kind of like you're expected to kind of suck up to the boss, and like because the boss is the one giving you money, and because of that you should be forever grateful, right? It's like a parent giving birth to you, and they're like, oh, you should be grateful for me because I gave birth to you, right? Like you should be grateful that you exist, versus versus this appreciation of an employee that's giving up their time and energy and life force to do work for you. Like if I say I made hundreds of thousands of dollars off this app, and I had another idea for an app, and I hired a person to do it, like I'm giving them money, but like they're spending their life energy, like working for me. You know what I mean? And that's a lot. Like there's a transactional relationship. It's not just about like, the money, like, the boss giving the money to the worker, therefore the work has to be like subsistent. It's like there's a relationship with the boss and the worker that should exist, where like the boss should acknowledge that while he is giving the worker money, those benefits, the worker is giving up his time, energy, and life force to the boss. And that should be a relationship that should be more properly conceptualized. And I think when those two sides are like kind of even, then it's like a healthy relationship. But I find in America, it's like there's a lot of, I find like, just maybe I'm wrong, but there's like a whole money centricity around it where it's like money is everything. And because workers kind of feel that energy, like they're more inclined to just like follow the path of money, because that's the important thing, right? Anyways, just speculation. Your mic is making weird noises. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'll fix it for the next stream. It's kind of difficult to completely replicate the training data, though. Difference would be a lord where you specifically train on small dice to replicate a specific thing like a person or character. Yeah, I don't know enough about like modern ML stuff to comment on that. I will say generally though, like even if your data is being used as training data, you know, indirectly, I do think that, you know, you deserve some the fruits of that labor, and I think that's kind of the intent of OpenAI in the beginning. Is like they scraped the internet, and now they're giving back by, like, you know, providing this open source, like, you know, like LLM for people to use. That's kind of the idea, right? But obviously giving a company that much power is also not good. It's also risky. It's very risky. But that's kind of what's going to keep happening as we converge towards this techno capital singularity, guys. There's no escaping it. Just, it is what it is. Over half of people in America make less than 30K a year. You have to be money centric when that's the norm. The problem is everyone postures that they're middle class when they're poor. That's kind of classic. I always see these videos of being like, people being like, this is how you save money. This is how you get ahead in life. Instead of financing a Porsche, you know, and spending $2,000 a month on payments on a Porsche, buy yourself a $7,000 car. It's okay to appear like not wealthy, but it's weird because, like, I don't, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, for me, it's like, you know, it'd be awesome to have a Porsche. Like, I don't deny that, you know. Like, if I had like tens of millions of dollars, I'd probably get a Porsche. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know anything about cars. So, but it could be cool to get a cool car. But to the extent that, like, I have to, like, work extra hours to appear like rich, I don't know. That equation never really, like, I think I'm missing something. I think I might be missing something here, but, like, it just, that equation just seems so obvious. Like, why would you even do that? Yeah, that's crazy though. That's crazy. Look, half people in America make less than 30K a year. That's like nothing. That's actually very little. And you have, and it's like car centric as well. Because if it's 30K a year, then you have like benefits, and then you have public transportation, and you have all these things. Then, like, you can kind of maybe survive. But then 30K a year, you have to drive, you have to obtain your health insurance, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a nightmare. That's a disaster. If I ever get too happy, I'll wish we had workers' rights. That's good. You have to appear rich to do business in America. I guess. I don't know. It's so weird to me, that whole thing with, like, dynamics and, you know, like, I hate the idea. Okay, here's the thing I don't understand. Okay, you see a realtor, right? Like, you know, a realtor sign, like, on someone's lawn, and they're, like, wearing, like, a suit, like this beautiful suit, and they have a smile, right? And then you go on their website, and they have, like, they're just smiling with their suit, with their, like, $200,000 car. But then, and they're trying to entice you to work with them. But then you're like, that is my money that you're flashing. If I were to work with you, I would be like paying for your car. You know what I mean? Like, intuitively, I feel that it's better to work with someone who's, like, more humble, who is, like, you know, who's, like, fine, who's not, like, you know, doesn't dress dirty or anything, and tries to present themselves decent, but not, like, flashy, right? But there's, like, this idea that if you're kind of flashy, then you're able to, like, get deals or whatever. Like, for me, it's kind of weird, because, like, I don't know. Because it shows success. I know it, but like, yes, it does. But it's also like there's just this idea that it's like you're successful from doing business with people like me, right? And you're able, and like, where do you get all this money? From a higher commission, right? And like just intuitively on a gut feeling for me, like maybe for most people, they kind of view it a different way. But for me, like I see that and I'm like, I kind of get repelled by it. Business people are weird though. Yeah, it's a strange world. Most LLMs before ChatGPT was just research done by researchers. It wasn't made for monetary gain. Yeah, definitely. I remember I took machine learning at university. In 2020 or 2019, right before COVID, and this is before like AI really took off. And it was like it was like I remember like perusing the internet, and it was all like just like research papers, but there wasn't like a lot of machine learning services that were like active and that were like accessible, right? Still a lot of it was still like kind of speculative. It was just kind of sudden when ChatGPT came came through into our society. I remember it first came on, and I was like I was like kind of impressed, but I wasn't really thinking about it because I was like, it's just hype. But then I started using it more and more, and I was like, whoa, okay, this is actually like a huge deal. I took computer science. I took computer science and minored in philosophy, and I specialized in mobile app development. That's what I did. I studied at Carleton University. A great deal of business in the US is just posturing that you understand the difference between old and new money and can court both properly. That's so stupid. That's just so stupid. I don't like it. I don't like that at all. I mean, it's like there's this whole game. I don't know. I might be missing something here. I think maybe fundamentally it could be like if you're at that, echelon of society, it might be meaningful. But like I always think about like being rich and like how my life would be different. And the older I get, the more I get scared about like the idea of like if I have a lot of money that I just get like I fall into a hole of nihilism because there's not really because it's super easy to just like not work and just do whatever you want. If because you have to know yourself before you get rich. Like I kind of feel bad like if you get rich, you're the type of person to just love comfort, then you'll get rich, you'll quit your job, and then you don't have a lot of incentive to do things, and then you just kind of get depressed, right? Because you have no external motivator forcing you to do things. And this whole posturing between the old money and new money thing, it just seems like kind of like a surrogate activity that rich people just do, almost, you know what I mean? Because they're just like trying to signal to other rich people about like, oh, like here I am. I'm better than you, right? Like, but at that point, it's like it's just something to do. Because what do you do from day to day? Like, I guess you fly to an island, hang out with Jeffrey Epstein, your old pal Jeffrey Epstein. No, you hang out with you go to restaurants, you eat, you hang out with people. You go wherever you want. Sure, okay. You don't have to work. Like that's all fine. I mean, like there's an upper ceiling to that. That's like say you have $10 million, you can do all that already. You can do all that. That's fine. But then you have 100 million. You have $1 billion, right? That's where you have like old money, new money, kind of clashing at those levels. It's like, what do you do, right? Like it's very interesting. It's like it's kind of like pointless at that point. Stable Diffusion kind of started the whole monetization of AI. Yeah, definitely. Same. It was a fun degree. Yeah, I had a decent time. I really liked it because I could take a bunch of electives. It was like, like literally half my workload was just electives, which was amazing. I was just having so much fun. And like, it was enough because if it was all computer science, I would have hated it. Because intrinsically, I don't really like love coding that much. Like I love the idea of realizing something. Like the apps. When I was developing these apps, I didn't like coding it, but like whenever I would like code something and they would like do a thing that I expected it to do, like or like make a thing work, I would like be like yes. But like the actual activity of like coding, right? Like the actual idea of like writing code and that kind of thing, I'm not a huge fan of. So a lot of my university experience was underpinned by that. If you were rich, you could literally start random businesses. Or if you were rich, you could start random businesses, and it doesn't matter if they fail. Yeah, that's the other fun part. You can just make random businesses just because you have money. You can be like, all right, guys, I want you to exert your life force to make AI that's on the blockchain that that saves lives of these penguins in, I don't know, like literally whatever. You literally just be like, all right, guys, we're doing this thing it could be useless, but I have money, so I'm gonna use your life force to do it. And you can just command them. It's crazy. It's honestly insane. If I was rich, I would start open source software foundation. Everything is about power except power. Power is about. It's about dot dot dot. I don't know what you're trying to say here. I'm too tired to read between the lines on that one. Oh wait. Yeah, never mind. I love coding. There's a lot to coding that is fun. I do acknowledge, but like that's not enough to power myself through for hours on end just coding, right? Like for me, like conception, like thinking of ideas and writing scripts and like collaborating with friends and collaborating with people and doing things like that. Like for me, that's way more meaningful. That's like more of an end in itself for me. And like the apps, yeah, it involved coding, and it was a lot of coding, but it was also, I got to see, one of my favorite musicians, my top 10 musicians, just like sent me on Instagram. He's like, "Oh, I'm using Soundbase," and I'm like, "Whoa, that's crazy!" And like, I have, I'm helping out Dreg and a bunch of other YouTubers who are using my apps now. It's making their workflow faster, and they're appreciative, and I like that. I like the fact that I'm helping people, expedite their work, and like that, me coding something helped them, and that it's helping me as well. Like I actively use it. Like coding in itself, like for example, to like simulate like an example, like to simulate some random game that I'm never going to show the world. For me, that's just like I can't get behind that one. I like what if I code, like I want to do it because I want to make a thing that I want to like then eventually like get a reaction of people in the real world kind of thing. Like, and that is like my ultimate goal basically. In college now, coding is difficult. Yeah, coding is difficult, but push through. It's honestly, the more difficult it is, the easier it will be. And I learned that the hard way because I had a difficult time too. I had one course that took 40 hours a week of my time at one point at university, and I was just like, maybe 100 hours a week at least just doing school. And I was like, just exhausted perpetually. But then like at the end of that, like I was comparing my skills two other people who didn't take that course, and or people who didn't work as hard, who was kind of skipping on the harder courses, and the divide was like evident. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you're like the most stressed, when you're like the most like when you spend the when you're literally like day 18 of just like coding 16 hours straight, like something in your mind clicks, your brain restructures itself, and you're able to just like think like a few levels deeper. Like you just did it. You know, it's like when you're, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, if it's hard, then it's good. If it's easy, then you won't learn anything. And the harder it is, then the better it is. Been a fan of Greg's channel for ages. Yeah, yeah, Greg's cool. Greg's alright. He's a definitely a really cool guy. Went to university with him actually. We used to work out together a lot. You know, between classes and that kind of thing. We'd sync up. We'd be like, "Oh, we're going to the gym? Yeah, let's go to the gym." And it'd be really funny because we'd only do pecs. We'd like only work out our pecs, or like that would be like the first thing we do. Or we'd be like, all right, Greg, what are we working out today? Legs? Cool. All right, let's do chest. And then that would be our routine. Yeah, it's cool. But yeah, and then I remember his political compass rap video. He showed it to me. I remember distinctly. I was at his parents' place, and he showed me his video that he was working on. And I just didn't understand at the time. I wasn't into this political compass stuff, and he showed me it. And I have like an ear for music, like I really like music. And I listened to the beat in the back, and I listened to his vocals, and I didn't quite coalesce with the beat, and I was kind of like, well, it's pretty good. I mean, the idea looked cool. I like the idea, and like I'm sure other people would have appreciated it for a different aspect. But I remember seeing the political compass rap, and I was kind of like, all right, cool. This is cool. I mean, this could probably get a few thousand views, you know. So, yeah. And now Dreg is Dreg's on Destiny's podcast. So that's how, and that's kind of how life is. The only up to winning at capitalism is you get to delegate your dreams and secretly make the world better without having to know it was you. Yeah, I would agree to that. I would agree to that. I wonder how many of these mysterious benefactors exist in society. I mean, we always see like what the billionaires aren't doing, right? Or what, you know, the bad things that they're doing, but there's probably a lot of them, a lot of rich people that do those things. So it's kind of hard to see what the net positive for the world is. Or like what if it's like a net positive or a net negative with all their efforts. Wild if you found Chloe through an avenue other than Drake, also impressive. Maybe YouTube decided to support Chloe for once by recommending his videos to people. No. So no, my channel is it's fine, but like the latest video that I put out, I got like 120 views. It was like doing pretty bad actually, and then like Greg found out about it, and then he just made a community post. He just did it without like me asking or anything, and then it just suddenly blew up to like almost 3K views now. So yeah, Greg is a powerful man. Just command people to come watch a video and just multiply its views by 20. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm curious, guys. What do you? Because right now, like, with the apps, I feel like I've been working on the apps for over a year now, and I'm done. I think I'm pretty much done. There was a few bugs here and there, but you know, unless there's like big demand for me fixing those bugs, I probably won't fix them too soon. Just because there's so many other things I could be doing with my time. What do you guys, you know, why are you guys subscribed? What do you guys want out of this channel? Because I look at myself, and I'm like, I don't even know, like, what I do. Like, I don't even, like, I just kind of do things that I find interesting. But I don't know what an external perception of me is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like what vibe you guys are subscribed for. That is very interesting to me. And how I can kind of hone into that and give you guys what you want. Maybe then uncover the next project. Because I'm done the apps. Now I'm kind of like, part of the stream was just me being like, okay, I don't have any editing work to do. I don't have any scripts to write, really. I have a few really long-term things I could be doing, but nothing to anchor myself to. So that's the stream. So yeah, I'd be curious to get your opinion on that, guys. Like, where you guys think I could be, like, what you guys want to see me do. The algorithm craves engagement for techno capital. Not every business makes the world better. Many make money making the world worse. And that's true, 100%. That is true. The thing about money, like capital, though, is like if you do find a way to make things better, like, you know, like cheaper via your business, you will be profitable, right? So it goes both ways. It's like this force. And, you know, based on the trajectory of the world, standard of living has been going up considerably. Like, I don't think anyone wants to return to 100 years ago when, you know, standard of living was considerably worse, right? So I think capitalism right now is, you know, with wealth inequality, there's a huge argument to be made there. Like, you know, it's not good, and that's a byproduct of you know, capitalism. But in general, I am pro-capitalism. You know, with some caveats. Obviously, you need ways to kind of harness a system to support people on the bottom. But as a system, right, I do support it. I think it's brought us here, right? So far, right? So, you know, I think it seems to be working so far. Generally, I mean, I'm speaking from experience. I'm pretty content with life generally, and I live in a capitalist system, not as capitalist as the U.S. Canada's not quite as capitalist, but I'm happy. So, you know, I have no reason to hate the system that I'm in, personally. Nah, if you don't bring your friends up with you, you deserve to be alone at the top. Listen, Chloe. Contractually, you have to make at least one Jesus whistle vid. I'll use it in some video one day. I'll give you my word. But I'm not gonna force it though. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I gotta make a video with it. I'm gonna, you know, if there's a video that has that you know, that could use that, I'll use it for sure. The stream, talking with random people about issues is kind of good content. Nah, just improve it. Cool. Honestly, maybe I'll stream more. Streaming is fun. I always forget that I could just stream. It's fun. Yeah. How many people are watching us? I've completely lost track of like viewership and whatnot. We got 5 of you. Nice. A little crew going. Excellent. That's nice. Oh, I've been streaming for almost 3 hours. Oh my god. Time's flying. Time is flying. Oh, it's 2 in the morning. Holy. I've completely lost track of time, to be honest with you guys. Streaming is so anxiety. Alright, see ya, 623. Have a good one. Streaming is so anxiety provoking. It's you know, it is a little bit in the beginning, but then you get into it. then you get in the flow of it, and then you like that you're in the flow of something meaningful, rather than just, being comfortable and not in the flow of anything meaningful, right? You start to you actually start feeling comfortable in the flow after the adrenaline wears off a bit, and then you just feel like you just feel better than if you're just not doing that. You know what I mean? I'd like to be a communist one day, but I also like having stuff, talking to random people. It's pretty good communityism, but could depend on who's in the stream. Yeah, I think capitalism and communism are both functions, like systems, that they both have their function. Like, I think, like, once capitalism reached the point of, like, enough prosperity and abundance for everybody, I think it does make sense to kind of tilt more communism, and that's kind of what's been happening, right? Like, as the standard of living has been going up, or as the amount of money has been going up in a country, the productivity has been increasing. Generally, the standard of living goes up, and generally the amount of programs that the government's providing to the citizens go up, because they have the resources to do that, which is an indicator of kind of a more like human-centric system, or I guess you could say more communal system. At that point, you have a system that's benefiting directly the people. Wait, when do you need to wake up? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not going to stay up too much later. I might honestly call it soon. Might call it in a few minutes, honestly. I feel like a lot of you are dropping off too. Oh. But this is fun. I like streaming. I actually really like streaming. To be honest, like, making videos is fun, but there's an aspect of it that's kind of forced. Like, you have to make a topic, you have to write a script, right? You have to find a useful piece of information to talk about. Whereas streaming, you can just kind of mess around, right? You can just talk about whatever you want. And it's more just interacting with people actively, right? That's kind of it has an entirely different function, right? So I do like making videos, but streaming is also something that I don't appreciate enough. And I always say this, but maybe I will stream once a week, or more, maybe even more often. It's fun to stream. All right, let's go on here. We literally already live in a post-scarcity society where people still starve and freeze to death because of profits and incentive to waste resources. Yeah, no, I can't talk on the post-scarcity society aspect of it. I'm sure we are, but if everything was, if everyone had a car, and if everyone was able to, if UBI was a thing to the point where the average person on UBI should be able to afford food and a place to stay and all these things, it's clearly the move, but also I don't know what the actual implication of society is, if that actually is going to put society back into scarcity mode. I can't say anything. Ideally, that'd be great. But also, what I would say is, we are moving, there's also a transition period from a capitalist system to a system where, you support the people and you gradually have conversations about UBI. Right now, we are actually, there's conversation about UBI. In Canada, we had a pilot program with UBI for an entire city, or not a city, a town of a few thousand people. The government was doing tests, and something like that, even 40, 50 years ago, wouldn't happen. Those conversations wouldn't happen. And I think nowadays we are definitely, as a whole, reaching that point of
like reaching a point where we care more about people, and are able to have the means of providing things and are actually doing so. But it does take time. We're in a transition period, I would say. All right. It's 2:09. It's getting kind of late. We lost track of time. I'm gonna call it. But thanks for joining the stream, guys. It was a good conversation. Good little Friday night chat. A pleasure as always. Yada yada yada.